A motion to dissolve the eThekwini Metro Council is expected to be considered by January 2024. The Democratic Alliance says the Metro is on the verge of collapse. This is the second motion to dissolve, or second attempt to dissolve the Metro, brought by the party. We're now joined by Francois Rodgers, DA Provincial Leader in KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you very much, Francois, for your time this afternoon. And so when you say that the Metro is on the verge of collapse, what do you mean?
Good afternoon, Dudu, and good afternoon to your viewers. Well, the challenges are just endless. Our councillors are, at their wits' end. If it's not water outages, where more than 1 million people on a daily basis are without water for days, and in some cases weeks, then we've got sewage spills, then we've got electricity outages, and all we keep hearing is promises. Our councillors become the face of the problem. And the officials, the mayor, the municipal manager who earns a small fortune are just missing in action, and there never seems to be any turnaround strategy. So this is why we've taken the route of calling for the disillusionment of council, which is in terms of Section 34 of the Constitution. We've tried the Section 139, which is placing the city under administration. But clearly there's no appetite from the provincial government, which is another tier of the ANC government. And votes of no confidence against the mayor are not really going to make a difference. It's not one man that's collapsing the system. It's the entire structure under the ANC, the EFF, and the officials that are missing in action. So, this is going to give voters the opportunity to start from the beginning and say, well, let's start from a clean slate. Let's put people in power that are prepared to do the job and not continually give us excuses.
To your knowledge, what is hindering those who are in power from doing what they're supposed to do? I guess essentially what has been the level of engagement, and what has been proffered as a reason for not being able to meet some of the basic service delivery targets?
I think one of the biggest problems is the city has become, it typifies a failed state. So, even if you give it money to be able to turn the situation around, it cannot spend the money. It doesn't have the systems in place to be able to do that. And we saw that a few months ago, where 1.6 billion rand had to be returned to National Treasury. So the whole system of accountability and structure in the city has failed. And until that is admitted as part of the failure, very little is going to actually change. It's all become crisis management. There's no proper plan in place to look at the collapse of the infrastructure and put a plan in place to start turning around the city. Piece by piece. It's not going to happen overnight, but there is no plan. So it's purely crisis management, and it's out of control.
KwaZulu-Natal is by and large also made up of rural areas. What is the party's understanding in terms of what people in those spaces are faced with?
Well, I think in some areas there is a fair amount of effective service delivery. I can think of Mgani, for example, which is one of the municipalities that we've governed since the last election, and there's a turnaround strategy. We've repaid debt. We've got a strategy on building our capital assets, developing infrastructure and doing maintenance. I think if you look down in Richards Bay, there's another good example of a city that's actually working for the people. So it can be done, but it takes political will. And I think the days of us putting cadres into positions, clearly when it comes to local government, is just compounding the problem and is not a solution to the problem.
Francois, are you able to tell us about pensioners we saw in the year in Umsunduzi that were not able to get their pension money? What has since happened?
I'm aware that just last week there was a partial report tabled to council. The partial report is looking at where the money went, who lost it, what happened to the investment. What it doesn't come up with is the money that was invested a portion of it was returned to the apologies. A portion of it was returned to the city. Where is that money? So it looks like there's a sort of smoke and mirrors investigation, and they're now trying to establish who invested the money, why they invested the money. The fact is, 30 million, my understanding, 30 million of that investment was returned to the city, and that still hasn't been distributed amongst those pensioners. So, look, the investigation is still ongoing. I put questions to the MEC of Copter regarding this matter. She was absolutely unaware of it and unaware of the situation, and will continue to put pressure on the city of Mzanduzi. I am also aware that one of the pensioners has now, in fact, engaged legal counsel, and as an individual will now be taking this matter further legally.
The mayor of KwaZulu-Natal opened some beaches officially, saying everything is well. Have you been able to visit some of the beaches? Are they E. coli free?
Dudu, unfortunately, I'm in my hometown of Kokstad, which is a long, long way away from Durban and the beaches. So unfortunately, I haven't been to the beaches.
Okay.
But I do get reports from our councillors in eThekwini, and we do get the E. coli counts, etc. And the last time I checked, my understanding was there was about 11 of the 26 or so beaches that still remained closed.
Thank you so much. Oh, before we let you go, prospects of success for this motion next year? Are you confident?
Look, so our appeal is to every single councillor. So what our councillors, in fact, are doing is they're saying to people, you know, we're as angry and we're as fed up and as frustrated as you. We're prepared to forfeit our salary. We're prepared to go back and recontest every single ward in the city, because we need to change the political dynamics. Changing the mayor is not going to work. So we need to start from afresh, and our councillors have put their jobs on the line, and we appeal to every single other party. Support us. Let's get rid of the rot that's in the city. And I'm afraid that rot must lie at the feet of the ANC at this stage. So, you know, if people are sincere, councillors who are earning a salary, if they're sincere that service delivery is failing, then I would hope that they support us to do in the motion.
Francois Rodgers, enjoy your holidays. Thank you very much for availing yourself this afternoon. DA provincial leader in KwaZulu-Natal, and we will endeavor to get the governing ANC in KwaZulu-Natal for a right of reply.